This is the Man in a Room podcast.
You know, I'm all over the place, and I apologise that this is late, but I will hopefully make up for that in content quality. I can't promise that, but, you know, here I am, going to share with you something quite exciting that happened to me this week. I made the best loaf of bread I've ever made in my entire life, bar none. The best loaf of bread I've ever made. So basically, I'm calling it my lockdown loaf, and it's quite simple, really. It's like 500 grams of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 310 millilitres of milk. I substituted milk with almond milk, because I don't drink milk. And I substituted flour for self-raising flour. Now, the recipe didn't say self-raising flour, it just said plain. But we'll get onto that in a minute. But I thought, you know, there's no yeast in this. You know, times are going to get hard. I need to make sure I know how to make a loaf of bread. So here we go, right? Got the time on my hands. Got the flour on my hands as well. Got it all weighed out, lovely. So right, here we go. Started doing it, thought, right, here we go. I was just more effort than I thought it was going to be because all the dough was sticking to my hands. Like, oh, for goodness sake. I'm trying to save soap here, you know. At least try and reduce as much as I'm using. So then I'm like, okay, fine. So I started making my dough. I was like, right, here we go. Give it a proper good old thump, you know, proper getting in there. You know, I was literally just going as hard as I could. It was just sticking to my hands. I had to add more flour and yada, yada, yada. And I thought, oh, this is all right. This is totally worth it. This will be worth it. I promise it'll be worth it. You know? So I thought, okay, fine. So then I put it on a baking tray. You're supposed to put it no thicker than 1.5 inches. So basically put like a ball in the middle and sort of squish it down to about 1.5 inches. And then put a cross on it. So when you cook it in the oven, are 210 for oven or 190 degrees for fan assisted oven, I should say. And then it's just 35 minutes and off you go. It won't brown very much, but you know, it's nice. I thought, right, here we go. Got it out. I was like, this is amazing. I've made a loaf of bread here. And I was like, right, here we go. Just the real taste test. Give me the crusty bit at the end. Bit of butter. Lovely. Really enjoyed that. I was really happy with that. Well chuffed. And also this week, I made the second worst loaf of bread in my entire life, having only made 2 loaves of bread. The first one somehow didn't put me off. So it was the same recipe, but it said plain flour. Now, it said plain flour, and even I was like, hang on a second, plain flour, that doesn't make much sense, but that's what it says to do. So there we are. That's what we're going to do. So I did that. I thought, right, no, even though my common knowledge knows self-raising flour isn't really going to work for this. And even people say, well, when you make bread, you use plain flour. I thought, no, it's what it says. So, you know, it come out like an actual rock. And it was ridiculous. Like, it came out, and I was like, okay, I've got to try and eat this because I don't want to waste it because I'm not a wasteful person. So I thought, right, I'm going to just slice it up. It was so dense. It was so dense. I didn't have sandwiches with it. I basically just cut off a slice of it because it was so thick. It was cooked, by the way, just to clarify. And I was putting things on top of it like cheese, sandwich spread, and just other bits and pieces like that. And I was like, okay, fine. So I did that. I thought, you know, I was eating that for a couple of days. I thought, that's all right. I could have toasted it maybe, I don't know. But it's actually quite surprising how easy it was to make a loaf of bread. You know, the fact that I've now got this time on my hands, so I might as well use it in a good way. Because why not? I mean, I'm not doing else much, really. I'm basically just playing Animal Crossing, which was a mistake to get, especially just before lockdown, because that's all I'm doing now. I'm just walking around, talking to animals, building up my island and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I could be reading books, I could be watching TV, but I'm not. People keep telling me to watch this documentary called Tiger King, or something like that. I will watch it at some point. But I also could be spending my time, like, reading books, rereading books. You know, there's so many books that I've read in the past I've really enjoyed. I thought I'd love to read that again. I could reread it now. You know, I've got so many books that there's so many. Whenever you read a book for the first time, it's like, wow, this is amazing. So it's like, oh, this is a really good book. But then when you read it for a second time, you pick up different nuances because you know what's going to happen, and then you know what's going to happen in the future because you're actually able to read the book with hindsight, which is really good and really handy. So it's really good to reread books like that. And I've got the amount of books I've enjoyed. The Dalai Lama, I've got so many books by the Dalai Lama. The only man that I am aware of that has written more books than he's read, and that's insane. considering that he's so insightful. It's insane. That's a joke. If I don't know if that's actually true or not. Actually, I don't know if that is. In fact, I'm going to go as far to say, I want to just say, from a legal standpoint, I don't know if that's true. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Dalai Lama has probably read more books than he's written. It's just a commentary on how many books you seem to have out by the Dalai Lama. Just me, to say that. Yeah. So, maybe I should be reading some books. Yeah. Probably won't. I haven't really put the TV on. I'm just avoiding the TV at the minute because I just don't really want to get involved in it. I want to just sort of get on my life and be like, it's fine. I understand stuff's going on. I'm doing everything I can. So there's nothing that I can do specifically to try and help stop the spread of whatever's going on. So, that's what I'm doing in my time. I'm basically avoiding it. I'm literally living like a hermit. And it's, I don't know if it's good or not, but yeah. Anyway, I'll catch you all again soon. And sorry it's a quick one. And it's all in one take. I'm not going to edit it because I thought, well, let's do it old style because I'm really behind and I'm sorry.
Who is the man? Where is the room? It's some guy you've never heard of, in a room you've never been in. For more information, head over to maninaroom.co.uk.